violence and other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, I can still get shot by the police, but I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, YouTube? It's a Black Gen Z Mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, and let's get into the video.
There's some sobering statistics, folks, about dangerous criminals continuously finding new victims out there. Take a look at this graphic here. In just 1 week, APD officers reported arresting 20 repeat offenders, which had a total of 553 previous arrests.
Dang. So you got 20 offenders who have over 553 previous arrests total. Okay? That's crazy. That's 27 arrests per super gremlin. It makes no sense why they're still out here in these streets moving freely. But that's what we got now. And it's going to continue to happen. Because we're going to continue to get these criminal justice reforms and bail reform initiatives pushed. And this is a result of it.
And 114 felony convictions. And today, folks, we learned that 1,000 people are responsible for 40% of the crimes committed in Atlanta.
So
1,000 people are responsible for 40% of the crimes committed in Atlanta. And, you know, I can't get down with those numbers. It's way more. To act like there's only 1,000 super gremlins in Atlanta on demon time is it's insane, okay? It's incorrect, right? The numbers just don't add up. So, like, I can't say that 1,000, and I don't know what they're going by, but to say that 1,000 super gremlins are responsible for 40% of the crime, it just doesn't make sense to me. It's got to be way more than that, to be honest. And I don't know who's responsible for the other 60%, maybe first-time offenders. But I can't get behind those numbers. I have to see what they're talking about specifically and how they came up with those numbers.
So what can be done to break this cycle and keep you safe? Hope Forward bringing us solutions.
Well, Atlanta police
Damn, she tough.
now have a repeat offender unit with officers dedicated to finding those people who keep committing crimes. So while they're handling that part, what stops offenders from doing the same thing once they're released? To find out, I look to some neighbors a little to the north.
Arrest, convict, repeat. How does Atlanta and Georgia stop this from happening? Is it longer prison sentences? Maybe, but activists like Devin Barrington Ward believe it also may be what happens inside prison.
So he's about to talk about the inner workings of prison, the streets locked up. Okay, so pay attention. Let's see if he's on point.
It's just a system that holds people in cages for a period of time, but it doesn't correct the behavior.
Research shows people with drug and alcohol addictions reoffend more often. And looking at some of the arrest records from repeat offenders in Atlanta, you see a common problem. Research shows programs inside prisons that help offenders get job training, housing, mental and substance abuse help before their release reduce the likelihood they'll commit crimes again.
Well, that doesn't make sense to send them back to the same system that hasn't corrected the behavior that has caused the criminality in the first.
So where are you going to send them, bruh? Where does he want to send the super gremlins who will literally shoot a baby? Where does he want to send the super gremlins who will do a drive-by shooting on a house or apartment complexes that they can't even see inside the unit? Where does he want to send these super? I'm curious. Okay, because I'm all for the programs behind the walls, okay? And on the streets, right? If they're working. But you also have to keep those people who do these violent crimes behind the wall. And, you know, involving themselves in these programs behind the wall. But, you know, a lot of dudes aren't going to do that, okay? Because in there, it's seen as soft to join a rehabilitation program. And you got to understand that there's a lot of gang activity. So a lot of these dudes aren't even going to join these programs because it's soft. Like, they looked at, you know, as the P word, I'll say.
First place.
Let's look at the recidivism rates in the country. Those rates are calculated by the percentage of people reconvicted within 3 years of release. Georgia's recidivism rate is 30%, about average for the country. But look at Virginia and South Carolina. They have the lowest in the country, 23.1%. How? Both states heavily rely on in-prison re-entry programs. After South Carolina changed and implemented their re-entry program in 2018, their recidivism rate dropped for the first time in 20 years.
If we are convicting folks and incarcerating them to the same system that's sending them back to our communities in the first place without addressing the need of rehabilitation services, mental health, and all of the other things that put people at the margin, then it's really just a revolving door.
And here's the other part to this. If a child is in the criminal justice system before they're 21, they're more likely to reoffend because of a lack of education, job options, and housing.
Really? Because, so those are the factors that make these super gremlins get on demon time? That's it? Not the beefs that they stir up online? Not the back and forths, not involving themselves in a gang, which you don't have to be poor to be involved in. Like, the excuses are crazy, man. It just doesn't make any sense to me. There's plenty of broke people, poor people, impoverished people who don't get on demon time. So, I mean, if they want to keep making these excuses, then we're not going nowhere.
So those programs become incredibly important if they're convicted and sent to prison.
I'm here on the corner of MLK and Frederick Douglass, where a shooting just took place. And as you can see, it's a pretty rough area. So I'm basically risking my life reporting on this madness. So make sure you do me a favor and hit the subscribe button. Like the video, hell, share the video. And make sure you go ahead and leave a comment down in the comments section to continue the discussion on how we can find solutions to all this son violence in the streets. I'm Jenquavius Jackson, here live, reporting from Atlanta, Georgia, BGZM News 17.
Right now, there is a $2,000 reward to help catch the person who shot a pregnant woman in Clayton County, killing her unborn child.
Wow. So this super gremlin shot a pregnant woman, killed her unborn child. Throw this man a program, please.
Just days before the due date, Tracy Yamick-Pierre has the very latest from Grady Hospital, where the mother is still in the hospital recovering right now.
There is a baby killer out there, and they have caused unimaginable harm to my family.
Wait, he's not just a baby killer. He tried to kill the woman too, so he's a woman shooter and potential killer as well. He's also a super gremlin on demon time.
When Stephanie Magruder got the call that her niece Princess Wolf had been shot, she raced over to the Villa of Hampton's apartments in Lovejoy.
We were told that Princess's injuries were to her liver, her abdomen, her uterus, her liver, and her intestines. I asked, was the baby alive? Was the baby okay? And no one said anything.
It started out as aggravated assault. It was upgraded to a murder case.
Today, Lovejoy police took 11 Alive out to where this happened last Wednesday. You could still see where the bullets had gone through the bedroom window's blinds, hitting Wolf twice in the stomach. Chief Michael Gaddis telling us because the apartment is secluded on a dead-end road.
It seemed like that the victim in this case was targeted.
We definitely want to find out who did this and put them where they belong.
Right now, Wolf is still recovering in the hospital, but shared this message.
All I want is justice for my unborn child who was due in a couple of days.
Wow. And that's crazy, man. These dudes are ruthless. And let me find out it was a baby daddy who did this. Oh my God.
Tracy Amick-Pierre reporting for us tonight.
Breaking news, a heavy police presence outside of Booker T High School in Atlanta. These are live photos of the scene. The school is located along White House Drive. That's just west of downtown Atlanta. We have reached out to Atlanta Police for the district for more information about this incident, what is going on. We'll update you as soon as more information is available.
And we continue to stay on top of breaking news we've been following for the past hour now. A shooting outside Booker T. Washington High School.
Wait. Oh, man. Why do we do this to all of the civil rights leaders? The abolitionists. Defaming their name by getting on demon time in every establishment named after a civil rights leader. It makes no sense. I mean, these people would be rolling in their grave if they saw what the community has devolved into. And people, like, especially the hoteps, they love talking about the ancestors. You think the ancestors would be happy with what y'all doing right now?
And we are told that an Atlanta Public Schools officer fired their weapon. John Sherrick is standing by live. He has the breaking details for us now at 6 o'clock.
Atlanta Police and Atlanta Public Schools police are here at Washington High School, right outside the school, continuing to investigate, gathering evidence, interviewing witnesses. According to witnesses, they tell us that there was a fight outside the school involving at least 2 young people to begin with. That escalated to the point where the school called the mother of one of the students.
So they got to fighting. They got to fighting at the school. Not surprising. Okay, these schools in the community, they're rough. They really are. Okay, we got the statue right here to commemorate Booker T. Washington, and this is where they start fighting, and it escalates into a police officer having to discharge his firearm.
The mother came here and, according to witnesses, had a gun, pulled her gun to try to protect her daughter. An Atlanta Public Schools police officer told her to drop her gun. Apparently she did drop her gun, but now this is where the investigation is going to focus on exactly what the justification would have been for the Atlanta Public Schools police officer to fire his weapon.
So you got a woman who pulls up to the school, hears that her daughter is in a fight, and brings a strap to the high school. And you know what? I understand why she felt like she needed to do that, because she knows the type of demon time that these super gremlins are on. So she knows when she pulls up, it ain't gonna be no fighting, because it looks like it was a girl fight, but you know, these young teen super gremlins are not shy of putting their hands on a girl, young woman, whatnot. So they will pull up as well and get involved in the fight if they feel like the girl that they're rooting for or whatever, whoever side they're on, is getting worked. So you have to be very careful when approaching a situation like this. So I get why the mother felt like she should have had a weapon. She definitely shouldn't have brought the gun. Obviously, I'm not condoning her actions. These mothers are super ratchet, and in turn, she brought the ratchet, right? But I understand. I get, like, I get the thought process of, oh, I can't just go up in there naked. These super gremlins, they gonna give me that work, so I better come prepared.
Understand the mother of one of the students was wounded. We are working to get more details from Atlanta Police and from Atlanta Public Schools Police as they continue their investigation. Here at Washington High School.
News right now. Police investigating a shooting outside of a Southwest Atlanta high school. Channel 2 Steve Gelbach there live. Steve, what do you learn?
Yeah, we just got here and I've been talking to a couple students, also talked to a family member of the woman who they say was shot. And I want to show you the scene here, still very active out here. We know the shooting happened over there where the tape is blocked off, where there's a vehicle along the sidewalk. This happened after school. Most of the kids had already left. But according to a family member of a mother who they say was shot by a police officer, that she was called here to the school because her daughter, a freshman here at Booker T. Washington, was involved in some type of fight after school. They say she was already taken into the school. The mother was called here by the school to come get her, but then something happened when they left. There's still people here, and they got into some type of altercation. And
so the girl got in a fight at school. The freshman got in a fight at school. She gets called to the office, whatever. They got her in the office. The female super gremlins who waited on her until she got out, until her parent checked her out. And that's when you have the mother pulling the strap on these super gremlins on demon time.
And according to that sister of the woman who was shot, she says she does lawfully carry a handgun, and at some point an officer confronted her. Now, according to the family members, she dropped the gun, and that's when she was shot. Other people, some of the students here said maybe she had fired or the gun went off somehow. We're still working to find out those details. We have nothing yet confirmed from Atlanta Police. These are just according to family members and witnesses here at the scene, but it's still a very active scene in front of Booker T. Washington High School, a shooting possibly involving a mother, a parent of a student, and a police officer, and we'll work to get those details for you and bring them to you in this newscast. We're live.
Apparently sisters can't go to parent-teacher conferences without getting shot by the police, huh? You know what, man? This is just insane. You know, sometimes I wake up and I'm like, you know what? These super gremlins will get off demon time. It'll die down, and then I start looking for stories, and I can't even get away from it. It's just everywhere, and I pick the ones that stand out the most to me. And it's unfortunate that we as a community are in this situation, but the only way to move forward is if we actually address it and not shy away from it and admit that there is a huge issue, and not deflect and displace the onus on other communities, but look inwardly to fix our own issues.
A parent of a student and a police officer, and we'll work to get those details for you and bring them to you in this newscast. We're live in Northwest Atlanta. Steve Gelbach, Channel 2 Action News.
Gang violence and other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, and I can still get shot by the police. I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.